This is a super beast! A super beast! With that said, welcome everyone to my review of PNY's shiny GTX 1080 Ti XLR8 graphics card. The 1080 Ti is Nvidia's latest flagship card, and PNY has popped their own custom cooler onto it and overclocked it. Right now, this specific XLR8 edition comes in at roughly $720 but what kind of performance does it actually deliver at that price? Now, in terms of specs compared to the Founders Edition of the 1080 Ti, we do see a decent overclocking on this card, but not something mind-blowing really. Right away, I also want to compliment PNY on this new fresh XLR8 design. The graphics card sure does look stunning, and let me tell you, the majority of the shroud is out of metal, but it's a mixture of metal and plastic basically. We also do get a nice long aluminum backplate, just like the shroud, longer than the actual PCB. The whole card measures in at a length of 30.4 centimeters, making it a pretty damn long GPU. On closer inspection, the cooler comes with 4 heat pipes and lots of aluminum. I'm guessing this card either must be running extremely hot or cool. We'll see. Power requirement not too crazy, and noteworthy, no DVI outputs, but should you need one, PNY includes this DisplayPort to DVI adapter. But now, let's ask ourselves the most important question. Does it have RGB? No, it does not in fact. There's absolutely no lighting going on whatsoever. Doesn't bother me at all, but to some, this fact might be a deal breaker. Also, unlike many other models of the competition, PNY decided to not implement a fanless feature where the fan stops spinning at light GPU loads. This is something I honestly would have liked seeing. But anyway, can you hear that? The benchmarks are calling! It does not come as a surprise the 1080 Ti by Nvidia has got some real power under its hood. We all knew that before my review and even before the official launch of this card. After all, it's a flagship model and it delivers exactly that. Flagship, top-notch performance. Since I upgraded my test system and no longer have GPUs such as GTX 1080, 980 Ti, 970 and the likes on hand for retesting, I was forced to feature only 4 cards in my charts. Just a temporary situation. As you've seen in the charts, the GTX 1070 does hold up quite well, especially in some games where we are apparently close to the max possible frame rate. I'm speaking of Crysis 3 Doom and to some extent even GTA 5. Obviously, a 1080 Ti is not meant for 1080p gaming. It does incredibly well at the sweet spot resolution, that is 1440p. But of course, I'm sure this beast of a GPU is meant to somewhat tackle the 4K 2160p resolution. And for having set all the graphics settings to the max, I'm surprised how well the 1080 Ti handled the stress, with the majority of game titles being close or even well above the 60 FPS mark. The power consumption is definitely higher than what, let's say, a GTX 1070 consumes, but compared to the huge FPS increase, a very good result. PNY's custom cooler does an excellent job keeping this GPU nice and cool at moderate noise levels. On idle, it's a very quiet card, despite the fans all spinning, but once the card goes into the 60s in terms of temps, you clearly can hear the fans. Can you call those fans loud? Nah, I wouldn't. I just wish PNY would have gone for some sort of a fanless operation mode for light GPU loads. My personal reason: unnecessary dust buildup. And then of course PNY totally ignored the latest RGB craze and instead didn't even bother going with any lighting at all. Might be an issue to some, but other than that, a very good graphics card, solid build quality, good cooler, and fairly decent price-performance ratio. This therefore means you can count on my recommendation of this PNY GTX 1080 Ti XLR8 GPU. Still, it's not quite perfect, which is why it's getting my Silver Award. And as always, thanks for watching.